This is a video response to Mike the Asshole on your video, Fuck Atheists. First of all, you seem to be confused on the difference between an atheist and an anti-theist. An atheist in and of itself does not mean someone who actively speaks against religion or pseudoscience. It just means they lack belief in a god or gods. Your rant is specifically towards anti-theist, people who do actively oppose religion. You should probably learn that distinction and pretty quick, because not all atheists are anti-theists, and proclaiming that you hate one while you mean the other just makes you sound ignorant. I'm sure you're not, but some of the assertions you make appear to be such. For your little rant about alternative healing and mind-machine research crap, perhaps you should have read the sole article that you linked. For alternative medicine prayer, this sentence was taken directly from that article. We have only intuitive and speculative ideas of the physical basis of alternative and complementary healing. That means they have no evidence and only have some thought-out ideas. If articles that go on speculation are allowed, then perhaps a few words of wisdom from me might also be allowed. There's a reason why we have medicine that is science-based and not prayer-based. Prayer and faith healing doesn't work. If it did, we would have no need for medical science. Medicine would have no benefit that couldn't be achieved through prayer or faith healing. As it turns out, however, distant healing and other forms of prayer healing have been proven to be ineffective in curing ailments, while actual science does. To get a better understanding of that, merely look at the life expectancy prior to modern medicine, when faith healing and superstition was all that people had, and compare it to now. Many of the ailments that were lethal centuries back can now be cured with a few quick trips to the doctor. The reason why they call alternative medicine alternative is because it's either failed to be proven more effective than a placebo when placed in clinical trials, or has not been tested at all, and that's typically by the healer's choice. To take a line from Tim Minchin, do you know what they call alternative medicine that's been proven to work? Medicine. The other scientific thing that you brought up was the mind-machine test that they conducted, trying to show that the mind can influence external non-living things in the means of randomly generated numbers from a machine. The reason why their data was ignored by the scientific community is because they refused to do a double-blind study, even after having that fallacy brought to their attention. The blatant refusal to do a double-blind study is a clear indication of forged data. That is not science. It's pseudoscience. If they can't prove that the administrators of the experiment weren't biased towards having a desired result, then the results can't be taken as factual. That's how experimental science works. It's not a bias against the notion of a phenomena. It's not an unfair standard simply because of the subject matter. It's the same playing field for everyone. And you would also think that a lab doing cutting-edge, worthwhile science, rather than silly pseudoscience, would get some more attention for closing down, as the lab your report came from did in 2007. In fact, in your video and in your description, even you seem completely unaware that that program does not exist anymore. And if you really think that atheists, or even science nerds, can't enjoy the majesty of the natural world and human experiences without actively thinking about the processes that occur to make such experiences possible, I honestly question your knowledge of any atheist or science nerds. That notion is just blatantly absurd. Most atheists and scientists and science majors that I've ever met appreciate experiences and only very rarely, in retrospect of the event, show an understanding for the reasoning behind the reactions. Contrary to your uneducated notion, the science behind the experience is hardly ever at the forefront of someone's mind. Just because you can explain it doesn't make it any less wonderful. Stop being so silly and argumentative because, oh, those atheists are so mean to me, they don't take my pseudoscience interests seriously. You are 27, it's time to grow up.